Are you just about to start your new career in Microsoft Flight Simulator or stuck in one that's going nowhere? Let me show you the new meta to climb the ladder in near record time. And we're starting right now. If you're following a guide from a few months ago, stop right there. The developers recently changed how payouts and progress work, and those old strategies just don't cut it anymore. The new path is faster, smarter, and way more profitable. Let's get straight to the point. VIP missions are the way to go. You start with the Cessna 172, then move up to the Vision Jet, and finally the PC-12 or PC-24 if you've got the deluxe version of the sim. Some people use the Cessna CJ4. I personally found it was a little too buggy, so I stayed away from that one. Now, you can actually skip the Vision Jet if you want. The payouts are the same as the C-172. However, the Vision Jet is faster and handles turbulence better. So if you prefer smoother, quicker flights, it might suit you more. Personally, in this playthrough, I've stuck with the C-172 the whole way and prioritized building up my passive income fleet instead. Done right, that fleet will eventually become your main source of income. And I'll break that down at the end of this video. As soon as you can afford it, grab a 737. That's when things really start to take off. Wink. Anyway, let's go a little deeper. First thing you'll need to do, of course, is get your PPL and then your CPL. After that, you'll need your instrument rating certification, and that's it from the certification side while you're still in the Cessna 172. When you're ready to move to the Vision Jet or the PC-12, you'll have to come back and get some further certifications for those. Now let's take a quick look at some of the grinding I did. Here we have a cargo transport mission, light mission that pays a little over 6K in credits. Pretty easy mission. And there we have 6,300 credits. Level up 2 notches. So you can see at this point in time we can start a company, but it doesn't make any sense starting that flight seeing one or sightseeing. We really want to wait for the charter service. We would have just unlocked this in the employee missions, which you'll see now are going to pay out a range of about anywhere from I think 8 to 14,000 credits. Most of these employee missions are pretty simple, pretty straightforward. And the payout is going to be just under 20,000 credits. Quite a jump from the light cargo mission, as you can see. And then also we went up 5 notches on the experience side. After just over an hour of actual flying time, we got to level 29. We have 28,000 credits. And we're about to transition into freelance work with the C-172. We're placing it in the European area, in this European region here, because quite a bit of VIP missions tend to spawn in this area. Gonna turn the crew on. Even though we only have 1 aircraft for now, soon we'll have multiple, and we want to make sure crew is on for all of them. So on the freelance side, and as you can already see, we have payouts of up to 154,000, which is the base pay. And here's our approach and landing on our very first freelance flight. These can be a little challenging at times. This runway is on an incline, and it was a very tense moment on touchdown. Almost lost it, but managed to hold it together. So the aircraft took a little ding, but that's okay. We still got, I think, an A rating. Yep, which isn't too bad. Quite a bit of XP. And there we go, 187,000 credits. So let's pop over quickly to my other profile and let me show you the payouts for the PC-12, which are going to be anywhere upwards of $1 million, but they can be in the mid $3 million range. And of course, that's just the base pay. And when you get the bonuses like bad weather and so forth, that can be as high as I've seen $8 million. So you see here 2.9, but that's just the base pay. Then I've sold the PC-12 so you can see what the Vision Jet and the C-172 pay. And they're both the same. There's no difference. So really it's a personal choice which you prefer to fly. The Vision Jet is going to be a bit quicker and you'll get through the missions a bit faster. Now if you look through here, you can also see some of the payouts for the cargo missions, light and medium. And those are, the light will be under 100,000 and the medium is usually under $1 million, between like 500,000 up to $1 million. But with the bonuses, you can get about 1.2 million thereabouts with the medium cargo, as far as I remember. So moving along, let's take a look at that sweet 737 passive income. And here we have 136 million was the payout on that day. Only 12 aircraft were used. And that's mostly 737s. And as you can see, we were getting up into the 14 million range. So this is a real goal, building a small fleet that generates large passive income. But to get there, we've got to start with the Cessna 172s and work our way up. The C-172s are great for passive income because they're cheap to buy, they pay themselves off quickly, and they're cheap to run. The downside is when you have to repair 150 of them, it becomes a real burden. At one point I had up to 162 aircraft and it took me over 45 minutes of full speed focus just to get through all the repairs. Now my goal is to keep my passive fleet around 50 aircraft or less, because let's face it, this is a flight simulator and not a mechanic simulator. So now let me give you some pointers on how to operate your passive income crew and the repairs. First off, your passive income crew only fly when you're flying. And just a heads up, how this works has changed a bit compared to earlier versions, at least from what I've seen. So when you're actively playing the sim, just do your thing, enjoy flying, and make sure all your aircraft are set to crew on. But if you really want to maximize your total income, we have to go AFK. The trick is only go AFK for the duration of that mission. So for example, if you start a 3-hour flight, you want to come back around that 3-hour mark. If you leave it running for 12 hours, the mission payout will still cap at that 3-hour mark for the passive income. but your aircraft will take 12 hours of wear and tear. So what I do is I pick the longest flights available, fly the aircraft to the destination, park at the stand, then go AFK. When I come back, all I have to do is shut down the aircraft. The mission completes automatically. Even if the plane ran out of fuel when I was gone, no problem, the mission still completes. Now, let's talk about the repairs. So we want to make sure that once a day, we go to all of the aircraft that we have crew on, and we want to at least do a checkup. So even if it doesn't need any maintenance, we still need to do the checkup to ensure that that aircraft is flying. Then with the cheaper aircraft like the C-172 and the Vision Jet, usually I wouldn't go too much into the repairs. I would just do the delegated maintenance as is. So let's take a look at the 737 and how I handle the repairs on this one. And also remember to click the link at the end of this for my other video, which shows how to do the premium insurance exploit if you are interested in looking at that method. So again, once a day we're going to come in to every aircraft that we have set crew on. That's going to give us our passive income, and at the very least we're just going to do the checkup. So 1.4 million thereabouts for 737 is very low, so I would usually just pay that amount in delegated maintenance. However, let me just go into some of these directly and show you. So the engines are virtually always, almost immediately, even before you actually fly the plane, it's going to be 18 million to repair no matter what. So I never repair those engines, but I will come in and I will repair all of the oil stuff, oil tank, oil quantity. I would repair those. And then anything that's small figures like these, I'd probably keep those repairs going until the engines get so low that the plane can't really fly again. Then you're either going to want to reevaluate and possibly sell the aircraft for whatever it can sell for, or do the premium insurance exploit. So the goal here is don't touch the flight controls and don't fix the engine completely, and then everything else you go into it, and whatever is really bad you fix those items, and you just keep these passive aircraft in the air until the engines wear right down. And here we have a great example. 737 that has 0 flight hours. There's no delegated maintenance, but look, there's already a bill of 18 million to repair the engine. Not even 1 flight hour. I believe the flight controls are also going to be needing 21 million. So I've seen some people say that, oh, that insurance exploit is cheating, but I think the devs are cheating us by look at that, 21 million something. So not even 1 flight hour when it's already, what's that, 39 million plus, almost 40 million. All the landing gear, all of these things, they already have a maintenance cost attached to them without even 1 flying hour. That's going to wrap it up for this one. If you found this was helpful in any way, give the video a like and subscribe for more content. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments, and that link that I told you about is going to be right there in that spot in 3, 2, 1. See you in the next one.